few years ago, my great-aunt passed away. She left me her extensive vintage doll collection. According to her will, the dolls were made in the 1930s and 40s by a famous European doll manufacturer, so I figured they must be worth something. The dolls' faces were a little on the creepy side, with an eerie, lifelike quality to them. Still, I thought they would make a nice addition to my daughter's room, and she really enjoyed playing with them. About a week after we got the dolls, I started to hear this strange, soft murmuring coming from my daughter's room. I would go check, and either the room was empty or my daughter was fast asleep. When it happened, I would strain to hear what was being said. It sounded like whispers of words in a foreign language that I couldn't understand. And though the whispers would fade in and out, kind of like a distant radio station, it seemed that I could hear them mostly around the dolls. I was hoping I was imagining things, but this continued day after day. Desperate for answers, I took photos of some of the dolls to a local auction house that had a vintage toys expert on staff. Her name was Mary, and as soon as she saw them, she recognized the manufacturer. She explained that these dolls were popular throughout Europe and Russia well into the 1970s. Risking sounding like a crazy person, I asked if anyone had ever claimed that the dolls make weird, human-like noises. I was expecting her to laugh at that question, but she didn't. Instead, she proceeded to tell me a story she had heard about the dolls. In the late 1960s, the Soviet government was building the town of Pripyat to house employees of the Chernobyl nuclear plant. Because some of the residents were supposed to be high-level management, the town was meant to be comfortable and well-stocked, including a shipment of these sought-after European dolls that were sent to the local school. When the nuclear disaster occurred in 1986, the town was evacuated, and residents were only allowed to take what they could carry. Many toys, including the dolls, were left behind. Mary showed me some photos and videos that people have taken in the past few years, showing what's left of Chernobyl. The dolls are still there. Even though they were rotting, I could see that they were the exact same dolls that were in my daughter's room. Mary then went on to tell me that a researcher who visited the site earlier this year claims he heard strange whispers coming from the ruins of the nursery school. He asked the old locals who live in the surrounding area if they've heard any noises, and the answer he got literally gave me chills. Some people actually believe that the dolls had absorbed the radiation from the nuclear disaster, and it gave them strange, otherworldly powers, including the ability to move and speak. Mary suggested that this story was made up by the locals to attract tourists, but I left the auction house not knowing what to believe. The words otherworldly powers really stuck in my head. What if the irradiated, rotting dolls of Chernobyl were somehow communicating with or through the dolls in my house? What if they were trying to tell us something? I know it sounds crazy, but that night, I could swear I heard a whisper that sounded something like ni-e-d, ni-e-d, which I looked up. In Russian, it translates to, "Don't go."